everyone, and welcome back to Arguably Speaking.
I'm Kira,
I'm Sarah.
and we're so happy you're here for another episode.
Woohoo!
We're really happy because it's spring in Seattle, and all the cherry blossoms are out, and life is good and
Life has
sunny.
been really good.
Yeah.
The sun was out this morning. I did a little walk to our other roommate Bala's coffee shop, and it was
Nice,
just so
nice.
like all of the flowers are blooming, tulips, daffodils, like
Color is back in our lives.
it's amazing. When I tell you that I feel so full of energy and just like, life is good,
Yeah,
you know?
that's amazing.
It really is just like a sigh of joy.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's so nice.
Yeah.
Have you been taking your vitamin D?
Oh my gosh, I haven't been remembering, which is so silly.
Okay, I was curious. We haven't talked about it in a long time, and I was like, wait a second.
Well,
It's
I
been sunny.
haven't been doing great at it because of the whole new job situation. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not like making myself breakfast as much as I had been before.
Yeah, you don't have the same routine.
Exactly. So I haven't been taking it very consistently lately, but the sun has been out and it has been lovely. So,
Yeah. It's definitely sprung into a new season, which is
mhm.
really nice because I think everybody can agree like Seattle winters can sometimes be a little tough.
Yeah,
And
I
so
agree.
it's nice to, yeah, I think we're okay.
Okay, perfect. So, catch up for the week. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You can go first. I feel like, okay, so we're filming this kind of midday,
Mm-hmm.
and Sarah has just come back from an event, so we might as well
It's true.
backwards. I want to know what's happening with you.
Yeah, I just got back from a women's sports bar, so a sports bar that only plays women's sports. And yeah, it's super fun. I know that there's a slightly more famous one. I can't remember what city it's in, but also in the West Coast that's called the Sports Bra, which is super funny. But this one is called Rough and Tumble, and it's really cool environment, super fun. But yeah, I was there to watch Iowa play CU Boulder for the Sweet 16 of March Madness, and all you sports fans out there, I don't know how many there are, honestly, in terms of our like friends who listen and stuff like that.
Probably not that many, but some.
No, that's super
Some.
fair. Just like small catch up like context, there is a player on Iowa whose name is Caitlin Clark,
Mm-hmm.
and she has broken like almost every single Division One like NCAA basketball record. Like
Dang.
scoring, like points, like I don't like just in general, I don't know enough how to say like what records she broke. Like I don't know enough about basketball. But
Mm-hmm.
like some of the records that she broke, like the last person that held them was like one of them was Steph Curry.
Wow, yeah, they're
Like
like a long
yeah,
time
a
records.
long time record, and like most of these records have been previously held by like men's basketball players.
That's
So
really cool.
yeah,
That's
she's
amazing.
really just like a wonderful player, so athletic. She's like 6 foot, so we love a tall girl. Yay. But yeah, she is gonna be drafted to the WNBA next year,
Nice.
and like it has just been an absolute powerhouse. Now, we were at this sports bar rooting for the CU Buffs because the person I was going with, that was their alma mater. And
Gotcha. And
so
Colorado.
it's
So,
true. We are from Colorado. It was kind of funny for me as like a Nebraska alum because we're supposed to have a rivalry with the Buffs, and then we're also supposed to just like in general Nebraska and Iowa kind of hate each other because it's like a corn thing.
yeah, it's definitely the corn feud. The
Yeah.
great corn feud.
Exactly, exactly. So I was like, either way, I'll be happy because one of them will lose, but like jokingly, you know? But yeah, so it was kind of funny because we get into the sports bar and it's like packed, you know? So they're like, hey, there's some places outside, like the Iowa game's gonna be everywhere. And then saw that like the person I was with was wearing a Buff shirt and they were like, sorry, hold on. The CU game will also be on out there, which is
Dang.
just so funny. But yeah, like I would say I don't either the other tables that had CU like fans were not very loud, but like we were the only people in the place that were clapping when CU did well,
Oh man.
which was just wild.
Did they wait, so who won?
Iowa won.
Yeah.
Iowa
I think
won.
that makes sense.
By the time this is out, everyone will know, obviously. But yeah, it was one of those things where CU was playing pretty good defense in terms of who they were up against. Like Iowa's just kind of a powerhouse right now. And they just weren't shooting as well as they probably could have. It could have been a lot closer game. It was still really fun to watch. Like, by no means was either team like not playing well. You know, they got to this point because they play
Nice.
well. It was number 1 versus number 5, right? Anyways, it was super fun. We had ciders, we had wings. I felt like this was like the most sporty I'd ever been, and it was great because also the person I was with was just one of those like commentators who says everything that they see out loud, which is perfect for me. That is my ideal way of watching sports. So they were
Yeah.
like explaining the fouls and being like, "Wait, what? Why did they call? Oh, it was because this happened," or like, "Oh, that was a charge. Dang, like it's crazy." And I learned a bunch about basketball just in like the course of watching one game.
Which is so nice. I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
that's very different from how you would watch other media, though, right?
Hmm.
Because, like, for other media, well, at least you specifically like to
Right.
be very tuned into it.
It's so true.
Yeah, and more
No,
sports, it's like it's nice to have someone commentating, mediating, and like
exactly.
being that bridge.
Well, and especially because we couldn't really hear what was going on with like the actual paid commentators that were at
Yeah,
the game because
sure.
we were in a bar, you know, like the volume isn't going to be turned up really high. So it was super fun, and we made friends with the people who were in front of us who had also gone to see Boulder and stuff.
Oh,
It was really
nice.
cute. It was super fun. So yeah, that was my right before coming over here, and I was all giddy and happy because this is like a new friendship. They want to be on the pod,
Ooh.
so who's to say they might be a guest soon. I told them they have to do their homework first and listen to a couple episodes. So
Yeah, they have to get the vibe. So
exactly.
if you're listening, do your homework.
Yeah. Hey, good job for listening to this point. I'm proud of you. But anyways, it was super fun. And yeah, earlier this morning, Matthew and I went and visited Bella at the coffee shop. So I have caffeine in me a little bit too. So I'm not like sleepy because of the cider, but I'm also not like because of the caffeine. So I'm balanced out.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Well, I've also had a fairly busy weekend. I had a friend. Okay, so I'll just start at the beginning.
Perfect.
Basically, yesterday I was debating whether or not to go into the office to work because there was nobody in on Wednesday. Everyone was taking PTO or working from home. And so I thought that would be the case again on Friday, and it was. And I walked in, and there was not a single soul in my office, like not even just my team, like at all. And I'm like, okay, here's the intern. And I'm here. So I worked until noon, and then I took my lunch break to come home and work from home the rest of the day. But it
Nice.
was great because I was home, and so my friend was in town, and she had just gotten in on Friday, and she was in for a different reason, like not really to see me, but was like, oh, I'd really love to see you if at all possible, and like this is where we'll be. She was traveling with one of her friends, so they're like, we haven't. I've been to Pike Place, but they haven't been to the Space Needle, so we walked around Pike Place. It was
Nice.
super nice, and it was so sunny and beautiful, and the waterfront was great, and we stopped at my favorite fruit market and where they give you all the
Oh,
samples and
nice.
they had really good mangoes.
Ooh.
And so I bought some mangoes and some Evercrisp apples, which are my favorite apples now.
Sounds
They're
good.
so good. Oh my
Are
gosh.
they crispy?
They're so crisp and so sweet. You can
Ooh.
see the sugar pockets in them.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's wonderful. But then we went to the Space Needle, just hung around the Space Needle, took tons and tons of pictures because that's what we do. And then after that, I was like, oh shoot, I told my other friends that I would be at a game night tonight. And so I
Mm.
went and we had game night, which was really fun. And then today I also met up with my friend who's out of town and we saw the cherry blossoms.
Oh.
So that will have been my second time this week seeing the cherry blossoms. I saw them, I feel like, when they were kind of at peak earlier in the week, and it was gorgeous. You just walk into the UW campus. They have on the quad, like this tree lined promenade, and all of the blossoms are in full bloom right now. Earlier in the week, it was even better because you could see all of the petals like slowly
Oh
falling to the
yeah.
ground. It was a day that it had rained a lot in the morning, and so I think everybody had planned to not be there. The first time that I saw it, not the most recent time, but the first time I saw it. And so there wasn't actually that many people around,
Nice.
which is amazing because it's so busy. But yeah, then today I went with my friend from out of town and she hadn't seen them before, but a new section of cherry blossoms were opening.
Oh,
The area past Red Square looking towards the main fountain in Mount Rainier.
yes.
There's also cherry blossoms there, and they weren't popped last time I saw them, and now they're really
Amazing.
big and open. So it was nice because there's so many cherry blossoms on campus aside from like the really big ones that you see in all the photos and
Right, yeah.
marketing, whatever. but really good. And then now we're filming this podcast. Now we're
Amazing.
back together.
Busy, busy, busy.
Yeah, and tonight we both have plans too.
It's
I don't know if
true.
we should mention them. Just a quick shout out because they haven't happened yet, and
Yeah.
we can debrief them later. But we have very different evenings planned.
Right. I'm going to a barbecue, so it should be super fun. Part of my evenings of the past week was making macarons for this barbecue. So I made promises and I was like, therefore I must deliver. That's like the best way to get me to do anything is for me to like have people have an
Guilt and
expectation.
shame.
Exactly, literally. So true, so true. It's like I'm gonna do this thing and if you don't, you'll be disappointed. Therefore I must do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I baked some vanilla macarons. I haven't made them here yet, and they turned out really, really good.
They do taste delicious. I tried them today.
Yeah, so very pleased. I am yet again getting my money's worth out of this $7 hand mixer.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, like I was talking about like return on investment because I recently have been obsessed with maybe purchasing an embroidery machine. Haven't done it yet, but really thinking about it.
No, there's just no reason that you shouldn't. I don't see
Amazing.
any reason that you shouldn't. I don't know why you are limiting yourself when you know it's going to bring you so much joy.
That's you make such a good point, Kara. Wow. Catch me on the Amazons later today. Just watch
And
out.
worst comes to worst, you can always or like resell it, or if you're buying it secondhand,
Right.
resell it and then buy it again wherever you go.
It's so true. It's so true. You're so right. But anyways, I
anyways,
have
sorry.
had this hand mixer, and so since getting this hand mixer, have made meringues, these macaron cookies, and then also homemade whipped cream, which is delicious.
Yeah,
But
good
yeah,
things.
so-
Sarah's making good things,
Yeah.
which makes the whole house very happy.
Amazing, amazing. But yeah, and then the barbecue is also a karaoke party, so I think the host is a music kind of person. He
makes
plays the
sense.
drums, and has a keyboard and a microphone, I believe. So I think,
Legit.
yeah, I think it's gonna be like YouTube karaoke things, but then, we're gonna have the microphone as well. It feels a little more official.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonight I am going to Monster Jam, which is a monster truck rally, or like I don't even
Yeah.
know what they're called. It's like a monster truck show. And one of my friends was like, "Oh my gosh, guys, we really have to go. This would be so much fun to do." And I was like, "Okay, sure, I'm down." Tickets were like $25 or something.
Okay.
And then with taxes, I think they were like 40, which is still, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
But we have nosebleed seats, I think, way up in Lumen Field, though.
Whoa.
So it's like a very big
Huge.
thing.
Huh.
And I was just told to bring earbuds because you don't think you're gonna have fun, but you will. From someone who's like a third party. And I was like, I don't think I'm not gonna have fun. I just simply don't know what to expect at all.
Right.
But I really am getting excited for it now, and I have to figure out how to make sure I eat beforehand and am like warm enough when I go there.
Right.
Because the weather is going to change. Faux show.
Is Lumen outdoor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
I'm
think
intrigued.
it's the option to be covered, but I don't actually know. That's just hearsay.
That's exciting.
I'd have to look that up.
I'm excited for you. You should take like pictures. I don't know if you'll be able to take good pictures.
Yeah,
but
from where we are. We'll see. I'll try to take some pictures and videos. I'm very intrigued at what's
Yeah.
going to happen. But Monster Jam.
have you ever been to something like this?
No, I don't think so. Only in my dreams.
Wow. Wow. It's really exciting. I'm just imagining, I can only imagine for some reason, the scene in Cars 3 when they go to a monster truck rally thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be slightly different, but same lines.
Yeah, for sure, for
All
sure.
the same
There's
lines.
gonna be mud, hopefully. Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to rain tonight.
I don't think it is. At least, I think it's just supposed to be cloudy, but we'll see.
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
not really worried about the rain. I'm just worried about it getting cold,
That makes sense.
which it will.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But
We're still
that's-
kind of in winter. Like,
No,
well,
we're not.
okay, we're in spring.
I disagree.
But it's not super warm yet.
Yeah, but it stays this kind of medium cold for a long time, I think.
Mm.
And also, I think we have false springs.
Yeah.
So this might be one of them. We'll see if it gets cold one more time before it actually gets warm.
That sounds good.
I think everyone's hoping it just stays warmer and like gets warmer and warmer. but also then we're like, global warming and
Right.
climate change, good stuff.
Get hit with that little CCA, climate change anxiety. What?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
But that's kind of what's happening in our lives. Is there anything else interesting you want to add?
I went and played some frisbee.
What's new?
Obviously, I know. I played a lot of frisbee this week actually, which was super fun. I was out playing on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Wow.
So, what can I say? I'm a little sore and probably need to eat more potassium.
Oh no.
But it's okay. I got the worst cramp in my calf the other day, but it's okay. But yeah, I'm getting to play with some really fun people, and I got ice cream with some people after the one on Wednesday, which was super fun. There's a drive-in, kind of like walk up, but there's no place to sit down restaurant in Seattle, which we might have already talked about, but it's called Dick's.
Yeah. It's a very popular place that most people who have been to Seattle would know about.
Right.
Or maybe not been to Seattle, but like lived in Seattle for any period of time.
Yeah, yeah. It's part of the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was someone who I was with who had never had it before, and they've been living up here for maybe 3 years.
Whoa.
I know, it was wild, and I was like, whoa, 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 am I the native? Me, the 6 month in Seattle person, knows something about the culture that you don't? But yeah, it was super sweet. We walked over from where we were playing and got a like hot fudge sundae situation, which was
Nice.
really good. I've only ever
Yeah.
gotten milkshakes there, but the fudge.
Good. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dick's is basically like the In and Out, but like of only Seattle,
Yeah.
I think. Or
Right.
like a Washington, maybe.
Yeah, and well, less expensive, but also slightly less.
Built out.
Yeah,
Just less sturdy. But yeah.
yeah,
Food.
yeah.
But good. But,
But
still
still
good.
yummy. It like if you're looking for grease and sugar late at night, that is the right place to go.
Yeah, and they're open till like 2 a.m., which is
Mhm.
wonderful.
Yeah, so that was really fun. But I think that's all I've really got for the week.
Well, I went to one more exciting event that you did not go to, which was a Bachelor finale watch party. And so we watched it a little bit later in the week, but we all got limo ready and dressed up. And there were a lot of people at this place. Like, I want to say there were like 15
No
people.
way.
Yeah, and lots of wine and lots of snacks and charcuterie, which is wonderful. And we all got dressed up and looked really nice and watched the finale together. But I'm going to watch it again with Sarah because I want Sarah to see it, one.
Yes.
And two, Sarah is also invested.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
Kira has to watch it with me because we've been watching the rest of the episodes together. So I was a little hurt that you saw the finale without me, but it'll be okay.
I couldn't not go, and you know the reasons why.
I do know why, and it's fine. And it sounds like you had a really good time, so I'd never want you to miss out on something super fun.
I just was really fun to dress up, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We could
no,
dress up when we watch it together, or we could just wear comfy clothes and be on the couch.
I think that's fine. And I was almost gonna not tell you that I went, but then I walked in and you were still awake, and I was like, "Dang, it's midnight. You should be asleep right now."
I know. I've been staying up really late recently. I just get a lot of energy from running around and playing frisbee, and then when I get out of frisbee, it's usually like 8:30 or 9, you know? So then I'm like all hyped up from running around, and so I've been staying up really late.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
You know, that's why you're young.
It's
You
true.
can still do these things.
Hey, look at me go. I will say that, regrettably, I did not set an alarm for one of the days this week and ended up sleeping in later than I was supposed to because I have been staying up later. So I just didn't naturally wake
Wake
up
up. Yeah.
ever. And yeah, I did, though, very impressively. I gave myself like 45 minutes to get to work, and I got to work in 25. So,
Wow.
not saying that I can haul my butt out of a house really fast, but I can.
But she
So,
can. She
yeah.
can.
Recruit me for something where you have to leave fast.
Okay.
Firefighters. Ooh, I don't know.
Oh,
I
okay.
probably wouldn't be a good firefighter.
I'm not going to comment on that because I don't know. I'd have to think through it a little further.
Okay.
But regardless, we're gonna
Yeah.
move past this
Right.
small talk. We're getting down into the speculative, but we are going to get into this week's theme.
Yes.
And so this week's theme is a little bit about the hypothetical, but it's a what would you do situation.
Right.
And we both kind of have lists of these story prompts. and we're just gonna ask us each other questions. None of them are like super super serious, I don't think.
No.
Most of them are like, what would you do if this happened? It's not like derived from the TV
Crises.
show where you're trying to see if someone is like morally good or morally bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, what would you do if this kind of outlandish, crazy thing happened?
Right.
Yeah.
This is just fun, like, posturing, not like, what would you do in a crisis or in a morally dubious dilemma?
Yeah.
Just funsies.
Just funsies.
Yeah, you've heard of WWJD. Now we give you WWK and SD. What would Kira and Sarah do?
Exactly. And now you're about to find out.
It's perfect. Yeah, so we both have lists. They may or may not be the same list. And yeah, we're just gonna go back and forth. So I will start first, if that's all right.
Of course.
Okay, so what would you do if you woke up one morning with a mermaid tail?
Well, first of all, I would be shocked. I would wake up, hopefully, I would wake up in my bed.
Yeah,
Like, that would be ideal. But I'm feeling like it'd be an H2O situation. I don't know if you ever watched that.
I've
But
seen the first 3 episodes.
man, H2O, just add water. The best mermaid show possibly that there's ever been. So
Big take.
good. I used to watch it at like 5 a.m. before school because that's when I would naturally wake up
Wow.
when I was little.
Wow.
And then I'd go to like elementary school or whatever, and they had it playing the next episodes. I was always caught up,
Oh, nice.
which was wonderful. But besides the point, I'd be like, whoa, this is crazy. I'd probably struggle to get out of my bed. I would probably call my mom. Honestly, in times of crisis, I call my mom. I'm like, hey, this is gonna sound wild, but
I don't have any feet.
I don't have any feet. I don't really know how to get out of bed. I've already called in sick.
Amazing.
I don't know what to do. I guess it depends too if it's like a weekday or a weekend.
Yeah.
If you or Bella or Matthew were here, I'd probably like yell. I'd be like, "Help me." But I don't know if I would immediately go like try to swim with it because just because you have a tail doesn't mean you can breathe underwater.
Right.
Let
It's
me
so
tell you.
true. It's so true. Also, can you imagine trying to learn how to swim with a tail right away? Like,
Yeah.
sounds hard. People always look so natural in the movies, but
But
I bet
no.
there's a learning curve.
Oh yeah. I've watched some YouTube videos where people are testing out like if I were a mermaid for a day, it's kind of those extreme job things or the
Oh,
people that
yeah.
are in the aquariums. Yeah, and it's really hard. You have to have so much core strength. So I would probably just not even be able to swim with this tail.
So fair.
And also, how would I get to water? Like I'd have to have
We're
someone
not
help
that close.
pick me up. Basically, what I'm saying is life would be really, really rough.
Yeah. It would be
Hopefully,
hard.
it's a pretty tail. I would probably call a doctor.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know if I'd want to have a tail forever.
Where, yeah, right.
What about-
how would you get rid of it?
I don't know, like some crazy plastic surgery.
Okay. Cut the tail in half. That's so
Maybe.
funny.
I don't know. Like,
don't know
are your
either.
legs inside of this tail, or do you just have like a
Or is
tail?
it just
Yeah, I don't,
muscle? Muscle in a fishbone.
I'm
Like,
not sure.
I don't know either. What would I do? Honestly, a lot of the things that you said, I would also do. I don't think that I'd be able to swim with it very easily. Also, how would I get to water?
Yeah,
You know?
it's a legitimate question.
We're not that close. People do not have trucks.
And if you have to go to Green Lake is not clean
Also, so many people.
and cold.
Everyone can see you.
Yeah,
Do I want to be seen? Do I want to not be seen? Would
yeah.
someone try and hunt me?
Did other people wake up with mermaid tails, or was it just me?
Is it just me? What if the government knows? I'm just kidding. I probably wouldn't care. It's so funny.
I don't know.
I would also hope that my tail was pretty though.
Yeah, I hope it's like pretty and shiny and
Yeah.
multicolored and not just like
Gray.
gray
I'm sad.
or like a,
Fish.
like catfish colored.
That'd be super funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd probably like try and sit in our bathtub because I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
it would want to be wet, you know.
Yeah. Gotta
But
get the
beyond
hydration.
that, I don't know.
You
I don't
flop
know.
over there.
Yeah. I guess.
I'd
I
probably
don't.
eventually try to monetize it.
Yeah.
I will be a real mermaid for
I'm an
you.
influencer. This is my 12-step care routine for my tail. You
This is the
know.
story of how I woke up with a mermaid tail.
So funny.
Wow, that's kind of wild. Well, I
Documentary.
really hope that doesn't happen to us.
Yeah.
Mostly because we just wouldn't be very functional.
No, that's true.
So, are we ready to move on to the next prompt?
Yes, ma'am.
So, mine also has to do with waking up, the first one.
Amazing.
But it's what would you do if you woke up and you were 20 years older than you are now?
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bigger, like, whoa. If I just woke up and instead of being 23, we're 43.
And find this in and have a child.
Wow. Wow.
Well, because like after that, you can't really have kids as easily.
It's harder. Yeah.
There's
It's
more
definitely
likely
possible, but it's
complications.
harder. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is wild to say. Do I think that I'm ready for a child? No. Maybe freeze my eggs.
Maybe.
Maybe freeze my eggs, but I feel like I'd be tired. No?
43 is not that old.
Okay. Heard.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's my knee-jerk reaction. Also, probably like, is my hair gray? I think gray hair is really pretty. I saw someone at the sports bar today with like the most beautiful gray temples, and they were just like streaked through the rest of her hair.
That's so nice.
Gorgeous. I was like, I don't know how to tell you that your hair is beautiful without you being like, why are you talking to me, small child? But like, wow, I probably could have. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what I would do if I was 42. Because most of the fun, like you're an adult things, I can already do.
Yeah. Well, it's more like if I woke up and I were 20 years older, I'd assume that something had happened.
Mm.
Like it almost feels like in a coma situation, has the world around you changed? I'm not
Oh.
sure. In this hypothetical, I didn't like define that. But if the world is the same as it is now, and I just happen to wake up and be 20 years older, the first thing that I would do would be like try to figure out how to reverse it
I guess that's
because
fair.
that's such a big chunk of your life. It's also what, as you were saying, would consider like some of your prime years where you're
Yeah.
still like active or like fairly active.
True.
And I don't know, I would be sad. And I also would be like, why am I 43 and sharing a house with so many people?
Yeah.
This is upsetting.
Like, I have not accrued the amount of wealth that I would hope to have.
But
And by wealth, I mean like $0. I don't have
yeah.
any money.
But if it's in a coma situation and you're kind of like waking up and the world has also progressed 20 years, but you are still like the same mind as you were
Right.
at 23, I would immediately just like start looking at what like the tech was
Oh,
and
nice.
what is happening now. It would be kind of jarring.
Yeah. I think that if I was in a coma and I woke up, I would try and find out how many people, like, I would want to know who was still alive.
Aww.
You know?
That's, yeah,
Because like
hard.
20 years is a long amount of
Yeah,
time.
it is.
Like, who's still alive? Who has kids now? Who's married? Who's moved away? Like, I would want to check in with everyone that I had known.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and see like what's happening with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what all did I not what was I not there for? You know, who got married?
Who has kids?
Yeah, exactly. You know, all of the stuff.
Who
I'd wanna
passed?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of interesting. But I can do my next one if we feel ready.
We feel ready.
Perfect.
Yeah, there's so many prompts here that it's almost hard to narrow them down.
Yeah. Let's see. Imagine what would happen if someone shrunk you down to being only 1 inch tall. How would your life change?
Well, obviously there's like the things of just being 1 inch tall is it's gonna take you so long to get anywhere.
Yeah, true.
That's like horrible.
You don't have any clothes.
Yeah. I feel like that's the least of your worries though. Like, how would you navigate? You just get stepped on and die.
Probably.
And you couldn't even run fast enough to move out of things' way.
You could run out of the way of a
1 inch?
foot. As long
You're
as someone
this
wasn't
big.
like stomping. You know what I
Hopefully I would wake up and be in my room.
mean?
Food would go like way further.
Yeah. Amazing.
I would never like all of
I
the
would
food that I
definitely
have.
sit on a bunch of different types of food. I think that'd be fun.
1 inch is not that big. You're so
Yeah.
little.
I'd like sit in an avocado. Like where you take the
Okay.
pit out, I would sit in the avocado and be like, this is so weird. You know,
I'd probably run from spiders
probably.
and like any type of bug. That would be horrifying.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, you'd be able to see all of the dust and dirt a lot better. That would be unfortunate.
Oh, that'd be gross.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd do well with being carried. I think I'd like the motion sickness in me would feel really bad.
The thing is, if you're carried, it's just kind of like public transit where you're putting your life in somebody else's hands. I love public transit, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it goes well and sometimes it doesn't.
It's a lot of trust. It's a lot of
Yeah.
trust.
Just-
Yeah.
And
That's
so if
true.
someone's carrying you around, you're like, great, they're getting me to my destination. Am I gonna have a way to get back? Uncertain.
Fair enough.
And then it's gonna take me ages to get back, especially if everything else is like super sized for
Right.
you.
Yeah.
And then you go back to see like, did everybody else become 1 inch tall, or is it just me?
Right.
Because if everybody has turned 1 inch tall, then really you're on the same playing field. You'll make infrastructure together.
Did you ever watch that TV show? It was like a weird, and then basically, I can't remember the name of it.
I don't think it was a
Sorry.
TV show. I think it was a movie.
It was a movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
where basically you could get shrunk down and like your wealth
Would go further.
go
Yeah,
way
you
further
could
'cause
get
you were
nicer
small.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, also thinking about being 1 inch small and around plants.
And around plants, yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it'd be really cool to be next to a tree, but I'm just so much smaller.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You could live inside of a bush. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like it reminds me of, did you ever see the Pixie Hollow, like fairies and
Yes.
stuff where they live in little flowers and things?
Yes.
That's what that's like the romanticized version that I hope life would be like.
Yeah. I
But
think
what
it
would
sounds super
actually
fun.
happen is I'd be like, let me live in this little flower and I'll make it my house.
Right.
Perfect. And then I'd open it and there'd be a giant bee. And I would be like, oh my god, I would. Oh, no.
That's so funny. Yeah. But also, if everyone else is also shrunk to 1 inch tall, think of the sustainability implications.
Yeah, that would be great for the human race,
The
probably.
Earth would be so much happier if we just weren't as big.
It'd be really interesting to see what happened to all of the infrastructure that happens. Because if everyone was shrunk down to 1 inch, then we would take up not even like a city.
Right.
It's so exponential, the growth that you take up when you like are physically taking up more space,
Yeah,
right?
true.
So if we're 1 inch tall, maybe we're taking up as the whole human race like a city? Maybe?
I don't know. No, I think it'd be more than that. I think that we could stay on like a continent.
Maybe. It depends on how we're building things, right?
Right.
But
exactly.
still, life is a lot smaller.
Right. No, for sure. For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, animals. Are animals still that big?
I don't know.
How
It's
would
all
we-
hypothetical.
How would we, as 1 inch human beings, slaughter a cow?
Well, the question also is, do we become shrimp then? Like, are we're not on the top of the food train anymore? So all of the little shrimpies that are getting eaten by the whales,
That's so funny.
mass extinction.
But the shrimpies still have technology. We still have like machines.
But we don't really, because we don't have them at the same size.
Right.
And we wouldn't be able to work anything that is a normal size.
Well, but we've built really big machines for how big we are now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but we don't have the operations for how small we'd be.
That's
We can
fair.
go up, it's hard to go back down.
Right. That's true. That's true.
I don't know. It's kind of scary.
We could go up from being down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we could,
we would build our infrastructure for the size we were and then
Right.
get it bigger and bigger.
exactly.
I wonder how long that would take us.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the question of like how much can we actually learn from our history?
The answer is really not that much
Probably
from what
not.
I've been seeing.
Probably not. Yeah. But anyways, kind of fun.
All right, so my next one is I think it's a more common one. Honestly, we might have even talked about something along the same vein before, but it's what would you do if you went in to a hairstylist and then just got the worst permanent change to your hair, like for you personally? That's either, it's a really bad haircut, it's a really bad color, but it's permanent. And what I want you to do is I want you to define what it is first. Like
Yeah.
what is your like worst nightmare situation when walking to a hairdresser? And second, how would you go about it? Like how would you remedy the situation? Would you just let it be? Would you do something, etc.?
Right. I think that my worst would probably be like a really bad color and also like short, but bad short hair.
Mm-hmm.
You
Like
know?
bowl cut or
Very,
something.
very similar to the haircut I grew up
Oh
in. You
no.
know?
Yeah.
Well, just because, like, I don't know. I don't like the way I look with short hair. I just haven't had short hair in the longest time since I was a kid, and I didn't like it when I had it. And so if I had that again, and then also just a bad color, like, I don't think I could do like a gray or like a I don't know, like a dirty blonde, but not dirty blonde as in like, it's like a brownish blonde, but like, a bluish or greenish blonde. It would just
Mm,
wash me out and look
yeah.
a little
The undertones would be
moldy.
weird too.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the worst. And I would wear a hat. If I couldn't change it, I would just wear a hat and be sad.
And hope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hope that it gets better soon. I don't know. I don't think I could do wigs.
Really? Why not?
I don't know. I feel like it would bother me a lot. Like
It'd be probably
the
a
weight.
big learning curve to learn how to use them
Yeah. Yeah.
properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
I think once you get good, just like with anything, once you get good and you know how to do it, it can become a fast
I
process.
guess that's fair. I guess that's fair.
So,
It would be an adjustment, just like you with the glasses squeezing your head. I feel like it'd be a lot of weight.
yeah, you just have to get used to it.
Right. Right. What would you do? What would your
Well,
haircut be
I
first?
think it would be like haircut, honestly, I think I could do a wig.
Okay.
So like I think I could figure it out whatever. So I'm not super worried about the haircut. What my worst nightmare hairstylist situation would be going in and them having like damaged my hair so much that it's like beyond repair and then I have to make the call of like what to do next.
Mm.
It's that uncertainty of like shoot, you've messed this up so bad and like there's something here but it's so basically unworkable
Yeah.
because it's either so dead, it's so fried, there's pieces falling off and stuff like that, and then it's just like all this splotchy weird color.
Right.
Because at that point it's like, do you keep the hair that you have? Do you shave it off? Regardless, I think I would go for a wig and maybe the wig hat combo.
Okay.
There are
Nice.
some wigs that are hats.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've
and
heard
they're
of this.
like two in one situations,
Yeah.
so maybe that.
Okay.
Luckily, I think hair is something, at least I've grown to believe it's something that can be altered and it's not permanent. Like, it will grow and
Yeah.
all these things.
Right.
But yeah, I think just that horrible experience of like realizing your hair is completely ruined
Yeah.
feels bad.
Yeah. I think it would be even worse too. Like I usually go to pretty how do we say cost effective
Yeah,
hair
affordable.
places.
Affordable.
Yes, exactly. Like name brand chain. Like all I do is I always get the same amount off everywhere. My hair is all the same length. My hair is not like curly or have a texture to it that makes it more difficult to cut. I'm fortunate in that regard that I can save money and have someone who's like, just has a pair of scissors and like a little bit of practice and it'll
Mm,
turn out pretty well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so it would be even worse, I would say, insult to injury if I actually went and like to a nice salon,
Yeah, and
you
they still
know,
botched it.
and shelled out, a couple $100s to have it be really bad. I think that would almost make me feel even more upset. So
Yeah, there's a lot of context that would make you feel sad.
yeah, yeah, it's true. And
Awesome.
it's like, is there an event coming up soon where there's gonna be pictures that people show forever? Like a wedding? That
Yeah.
would be really bad. But yeah, okay. I will do my next one. I've got a couple options, so I'm gonna hopefully do one that's a little bit different. I feel like mine has been a lot like you wake up and your entire body has changed. What's next?
Yeah. That's okay though. I mean, try to read through a couple of them. Whenever you're talking, I'm reading through mine a little bit and being like, how can I make this work? Kind of, okay. But a lot of the what would you do's that aren't relating to other people is like all internal. So it's like, how would you react to something happening to you
That makes sense.
instead of how would you react to what's happening to other people?
That makes
But
sense, yeah.
yeah, either anything you can find will be great.
Okay. My next one is what would a day in your life be like if you were a famous movie star?
A day in the life, man. I think I don't know much about movie stars.
That's fair.
First and foremost, how I understand their lives is that their job, obviously, is to be an actor.
Mhm.
And you have different projects, and these projects that you're on have different run times, like different filming times. Sometimes they overlap, sometimes they don't. But in the times that you're filming, you're kind of doing all of this prep work. You're getting there early, you're staying late. That lasts for like 3 months, and you're doing all of your lines and all of your acting and scripting and whatever a movie star does.
Yeah, learning the blocking or whatever.
Yeah, with small points of like marketing slash publicity sprinkled within, where you're doing like small events. And then I think post that filming process comes like the actual marketing process, and then you go on this press tour and you're doing all these interviews and stuff. But while that's happening, you're also looking for a job. So, like your next project.
It sounds like you know a lot more about being a movie star than I did.
I don't actually know if that's true. That is
Okay.
all speculation.
It sounds right.
Yeah, that's all speculation. But needless to say, if I were a movie star, hopefully I would be well known enough to where I'm not having to actively search for projects.
Yeah.
Like they're also being brought to me at the same time.
Nice.
Because there's a certain level of respect.
It's
That'd
like,
be
we
cool.
want Kira.
Yeah, because she's like the best actor ever.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Any role, Kira's gonna give it her best performance and everyone's going to love her.
Yeah, so hopefully that's a thing. But I would hope that there is some downtime in between these big projects because it seems like a lot of like action time and we have to do this and we have to do this. And a lot of your work is infiltrating so much into your life that you're having to mold your life into whatever your schedule is like
Right.
because there's so many demands.
Your life kind of is your work in that job.
Yeah. But then when you have time off, you have so much money. Hopefully, if I'm assuming I'm famous.
You're famous. Oh yeah,
I'm
you're
famous.
famous.
I'm not just like a movie star that's been in like one indie film that was
No.
grassroots.
Your
Anything.
IMDb?
IMDb.
Nice. Is going off the charts.
Beautiful. Yeah, so during those off times, I'm traveling, I'm hanging with friends,
Amazing.
I'm like shopping.
Yeah.
And that seems very materialistic, but at the same time, I think we all live very different realities.
Yeah.
And when your reality is always something extravagant happening, you get used to that happening.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So as much as I'd like to be home and in my own little bubble at times when I was not working, I think it would be fun to utilize these resources that most people don't have
For sure.
and
yeah.
do something.
Yeah, I definitely
So that's
agree.
probably a bad day in the life because I was just like, every day is so different.
Yeah,
That's
no.
essentially what I just said. But I would make sure that my off time was well spent, even if it wasn't necessarily just for me. Like, it'd be great to just go on trips and buy clothes and stuff and whatever. But maybe there's some good impact too. Like, you're speaking out, you're being an advocate for things you believe in, and like you're able to focus on some passion projects.
Such a good person, girl.
So, I mean, I definitely said like the fun, extravagant stuff first.
Yeah, but, it's good that you you still said something good at the end.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't even think about that. So,
It'd be cool because you have the influence. You have
right.
other influence that most people don't have.
Yeah,
So how are you going to use that and in what ways?
for
And then
sure.
also have fun. We all deserve to enjoy our lives, whether we're famous or not.
Exactly. I agree. I agree. I think that I'm gonna just piggyback off of what you said, and every day is different, blah, 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 work, 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 blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But if I was in like an in-between projects and I'm famous enough that I can, kind of chill and hang out until the next thing comes along, I would want to meet as many other famous people as possible, and I'd
Mm-hmm.
want to like take advantage of the, oh my gosh, hey, I've been really wanting to see your comedy show or your musical. Like, can you get me a ticket? Because I'm a famous person.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, sure. There's a VIP
Right,
section."
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, we'd love to see you there. Like, let's make it as comfortable as possible. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I
You
would be
get the
going to
nice seats.
shows, I'd be going to
Oh
concerts,
yeah.
and again, like what you said, I would try and like help the little upstarter people, go to show, write a good review,
Yeah.
and like really jumpstart people's careers. I think that'd be really fun.
And I think it's so fun too when celebs make guest appearances. Guest appearances, that's not even right. But when they're like, "Oh yeah, I will go to your prom just
Yeah,
cuz."
yeah,
Like, I want oh sure, I'm going to sing at your wedding
right.
just because I want to sing at your wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And so like doing those little fun things, I think
Yeah.
would bring joy.
Just being human and like a giver, but it's like impact feels a lot greater because of how famous you are. I
Mhm.
think that'd be cool. I think that'd be really cool. And, it'd be fun to like also brush shoulders with some people at some events and things. Like maybe I
Yeah.
go see a Chiefs game
Or something.
or something. Like maybe I meet a president or something and be like, "Hey, what's up with this, dudes?"
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun to just have be in those circles because I feel like the famous world is again like I don't know, kind of small. People know people.
Yeah, people know people, and it's also so far removed in my mind from this like common person world
Right.
because I was actually having a conversation with one of my friends recently, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like she used to work at Disney,
Oh, cool.
and so every once in a while, like famous people would come through, and they have special precautions, and like as a faculty or member or like part of staff, you're not supposed to."
Tell
Do
people.
much and be like,
Yeah.
oh, this, but they go through the special lines and like
Huh.
they kind of do things a lot differently than anybody else would.
Yeah.
And so seeing that would be really interesting, and then utilizing your connections would be,
Right.
yeah, would
Yeah.
be wild
It'd be
because
really cool.
their day to day is so different.
Mm-hmm. No, totally different. I think that'd be nice. And I would just have someone who would cook my meals for me. Day in the
Yes.
life, I wouldn't make any choices besides what I want to see on my plate, and then they would just make it, and I would eat it and be happy. Yay!
Food.
I love food, famously.
Okay, so my next one, if we're good to move on,
Yeah.
is what would you do if you woke up? I guess we're waking up again.
Amazing.
But if you had to always like follow directions slash be like tell the truth, and I'm talking my specific scenario that I'm thinking is Ella Enchanted.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I was thinking
Yeah,
of when you
exactly.
said it. Okay. Yeah.
So it's this charm that you always have to do, and what people are asking of you. It's like, okay, will you go take out the trash? And then you immediately have to do that. It's like this inner pull that
Yeah.
you have to do.
Yeah.
How would you navigate? Would you tell other people? Would you just go about your life and say that, or like not tell anybody?
Yeah.
Eh.
I think I would tell the people that I trust the most because Ella does some really cool things
Yeah.
in that movie because
Yeah.
people ask her to. So I think I would like tell you, maybe tell Bella, like
Mhm.
tell my parents for sure, and be like, ask me to run a half marathon. And then I
Oh.
could run a half marathon.
Okay, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that'd
use it
be
to your
really
advantage.
cool, And like tell me to learn how to play the piano.
And then you will.
And then I just
Yeah.
learned how to play the piano. I think I would take advantage of that in terms of like getting the will to do things that I usually don't have the ability to do. So then I'm not like forcing myself, but I'm like kind of forcing myself through having you force me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully it's stemming from you, and you're just telling somebody else to tell you
Right.
to
It's
do
like
it.
Tell me to go to the gym every morning.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Like, tell me to eat a balanced diet.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'd really be
Perfect.
using this to my, like, self-improvement.
Which is wonderful. That's
Yeah.
ideal. I wonder though if because it really is everything that they say. I'm thinking of that one scene where she's chasing people around in the village and then someone says freeze.
Yeah.
And she like stops in midair.
Wild.
Obviously that's like movie magic and stuff, but like would that happen? Would someone be like, stop? And you're like trying to cross the street and you have to stop?
Yeah.
Like when can you go again? I don't remember all of the mechanics of it.
Yeah, well, because you remember, if you haven't seen this movie, go watch it. Great music, great casting.
Anne Hathaway is the best.
Oh my gosh, amazing. But there was one point where someone said, like, like, stay here until I get back, and she almost gets hit by a carriage.
Yeah, because she has to like stand and wait. So you'd have to be really careful. I would probably only let one person know.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know who it would be. Maybe my mom. I love my mom, if that wasn't obvious. She would, and she's far enough away from me that it wouldn't be like a day-to-day thing where you're accidentally telling someone to do something.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But people are, like, generally still tell, like, we all tell each other what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in a
right,
way.
exactly.
Things that
So,
aren't questions, but just
yeah.
meh.
I definitely think it would be interesting. You'd have to avoid a lot of telemarketers.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you have a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, or
I
like,
guess I do.
you know, you need to make a donation. Okay.
I wonder if you could genie it, just like in Aladdin, where they like, I wish you to be free. Or don't say
Yeah.
everything that blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Maybe you could.
Yeah.
Because that would be really hard day to day. Even if there were people that didn't know, they would
Yeah.
still be commanding you
Right.
unknowingly.
Exactly.
Unbeknownst to them.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and I don't know. I definitely think that people would find out,
Yeah.
you know.
They'd be like, why is she just cleaning the dishes all of a sudden? Why is she collecting rainwater? Like,
Weird.
you'd just be doing everything pretty darn immediately.
Right. Yeah. I do think that's something that is interesting is like the urgency with which you need to follow the command. I feel like if things were somewhat able to be delayed, it's like donate $12 to the fund, and then it's like, okay, I will in 5 years, and then you give $12 or whatever, I think that could be a workaround, but it's all up to the magic.
It's all up to the magic.
It is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bank on the idea that if that did ever happen, hopefully everyone would just think I'm a really good person. And then the one person that I had told about this happening would free me from my curses or just make me like the ultimate human who can do everything.
Fly. Oh, fly.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really fun.
That would be wild if you just like, okay, gotta figure out how to do this.
Amazing.
And there's a lot of stuff open for interpretation.
Yeah.
Too. Like fly on a plane.
Honestly.
Fly.
Fly, fly. Fly, fly, butterfly. Anyways, good song. I think it's the Swing song. I don't know if you recognize it, but it is a good song, and I will find it, and I will tell the world, maybe, through Instagram. We haven't made a post. We'll make a post soon,
We're
maybe.
thinking about making a post.
It's in the drafts. Trust us. Just listen.
Trust us.
Yeah, okay, I have one last one, and we can't get really into it because we're coming up on being done with our time, and it could be a long conversation. But imagine you have been given A, land, B, resources, C, a captive amount of people who are looking for a place to live, and you need to design a city.
Whoa.
Okay? What would make your city unique? And what would be your, like, come live in blank, it has XYZ?
Blank. Whoa. That's like a big one.
Yeah.
Because a city, I thought about this too, how cities kind of just appear sometimes. Now I think they just appear as suburbs. Like cities grow out of suburbs a lot of times, whereas how they used to be is like they used to grow out of where resources are. But because
the
people
train
are
tracks, the water.
Yeah. Willing to go, willing to drive, and how able we are to transport things, they just spring like a suburb exists, and then because you have so many people, then they're like, oh, we should also put stores and things here, and then you have
Right.
a new city.
Yeah.
And that seems like how it is, at least in the U.S. I'm
Mm-hmm.
obviously not sure about for other countries, but for here, I think I do want something that is higher density. So I really don't like suburb, specifically a cookie cutter house. I
Okay.
don't mind single family houses as long as each house has some character.
Okay.
That is good. That like makes me happy.
Yeah.
And I think it would be really nice if there was an amazing amount of public transit, like come here, you can go anywhere you want without a car.
Nice. Yeah.
That would be really awesome. And then, I mean, I think it's because my perspective is really warped since it's along the lines of the field that I'm in.
Right.
But I'm like, all of the public amenities, there should be so much green space. There should be so much public space, so many community activities and things like that that are great. Um, but also it being self-sufficient in a
Okay.
way.
Cool.
Like it would be cool if you had all these mixed use areas where people are clearly growing crops, like in
Mm-hmm.
the city,
Yeah.
but there's also a place where you can do get all the mechanic stuff done. Obviously that sounds kind of like a normal city, but it'd be great if it was really integrated.
Yeah,
And you're
definitely.
learning how to do everything not necessarily for yourself, but within that city.
Yeah.
You're not having to go really far away for any one thing.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
I like
if you
it.
haven't looked at the Garden City, that's kind of like that, but whatever.
I have not heard of this before.
Yeah. There's urban planning lore and like things that have happened in the past that are what would ideal cities be, but I feel like I'm so ingrained in that I can't think of anything that's unique or
Okay.
fun.
No, that's
So
fair.
maybe you should do a couple and then I can jump back in.
Yeah, I think that I agree with a lot of what you were saying, and I was thinking along the same lines of like, I want public transit to be so used and like reliable. I think that
Mm-hmm.
I've lived in places that have a good amount of public transit, but bus systems for what they are, very unreliable timing wise.
Yeah, totally.
Trains are a lot more reliable, I think. I think that I definitely would have, a decent number of train systems. I think
Mm-hmm.
that would be great. And also, I don't know, I think the things that I like most about cities in general are like the history in them, which would be weird because I'd be building
It's a
it.
new city,
Right.
yeah.
So I definitely want there to be like a cohesiveness that's there, but like I don't know. Like you were saying, like all of the houses, I don't want them to all look the same and things like that. I don't know, I'm thinking a lot about Bath, which is where I studied abroad in England because I'm gonna bring it up because why would I not? But it was all built out of the same Bath sandstone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because
because
it's
of
all
that,
quarried in a
it was
specific way.
gorgeous,
Yeah,
you
there's like a
know?
unification throughout the
Yeah,
city.
yeah, the city itself looked very like whole. It was all one situation, like coming together.
Yeah.
Instead, I feel like a lot of cities, small cities, I would think, you can kind of see like when each building or
Or
set of buildings was like put together
they
and
come from a
stuff.
certain era.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like it's a little hodgepodge. So I think I'd want some uniformity across it so that it looks like, a little designed and a little curated. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it'd be nice to have also like a big downtown center where there are no cars.
Mm-hmm.
You
That'd be
know?
cool.
I want a high street where there's a bunch of shopping. I want like a restaurant district where you can go and there's like a bunch of different kinds of food. You
Ooh.
know?
So you want like quarters almost, where like this is the area for this, this is the
Yeah,
area for
yeah.
this.
And like you can walk around and there are options and you're not worried about like, oh, we need to find parking. Like, no, you can just like transit in, you know?
And it'll, yeah.
And things are nearby. I love being able to walk to a grocery store. I want everybody to
Yeah.
be able to walk to a grocery
That
store. It
is
doesn't
really
have to be big.
nice.
Like I just want everybody to be able to walk, get produce, get sugar, get flour, get whatever. Like just easy. Like you want to make something? easy money. Walk
Make
down
that
the street.
thing. Make
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
not hard. So,
Yeah, oh man, we should, maybe for a full episode, we should design our dream city.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, we can put a pin in this because I feel like it's a great question and it's so great that I need a little bit more time to sit with it.
Super fair.
But stay tuned. Maybe that'll be a thing we do.
Yeah.
Design your city, design your dream blank.
Dream cities.
What does it have in it?
Also, I will say that the city would have a hospital.
Okay.
I feel like it's something that I noticed because in the town that I went to college in, there was like the University Health Center, and then there were 2 or 3 different like hospitals. And so it never felt like you would have to go very far to get help. And I think that was like really nice. And like where I grew up, there was 2 like, pretty decently sized hospitals in the town and stuff. And I've heard from people like my more rural friends that like it's super difficult for some people to make it to like more than just a checkup clinic,
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's really just having all of these public goods that are necessities for well-being, whether that be physical or emotional or like social, I don't know.
Yeah,
All
no,
of the
for sure.
well-beings being met would be ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're talking about utopias and stuff.
Totally.
Yeah. But that's a good question. Okay, we're
Kinda
definitely putting a pin in it because I
Okay.
kind of want to come back to it.
I love a pen.
But, I mean, that is kind of bringing us to the end of our episode right now.
Yeah.
We wanted to do something just a little fun, a little hypothetical. We are regrouping on what's going to be our formal episode themes week to week because we're starting to get a little bit busier.
Right.
And so we'll see how things are going to evolve and change. But we still really enjoy making podcasts and debriefing our weeks. I feel like that's kind of the most fun things. And then we have them recorded and saved, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We
Super
hope
great.
you enjoyed listening to some of our stories and some of our hypothetical situations. Let us know what you would do in any of them. We're very curious. And
We post our episodes every Wednesday, and we have them uploaded to Spotify and to YouTube. So go over, hit the little bell thing, do the little follow thing, give us the 5 stars thing. Anything that you can do to give us a little more love means that other people in the world who might not know us might find us. So that's super fun. And I mean, who wouldn't want to randomly know us?
yeah, we're super fun.
Yeah,
we're
we
super
make
cool.
everybody's life better. And of course, we have a email that you can send us suggestions. Like Kira said, we are running out of ready-made ideas. When we started the podcast, we had quite a few ideas in our back pocket that we were ready with. And episode 27,
26?
26,
Maybe 27. I don't know. We're at the 6-month mark about. That's what I know.
we've been in it for a while, which means that we've used all of the canned ideas that we already kind of had been thinking about. So we would love some audience participation, suggestions. Let us know if you are nearby and would want to maybe guest appearance. That could be pretty fun. So
Alrighty, but with that being said, we're really happy you were here and listened to us wherever you may be at in the world. Evening, noon, night, day, morning, etc. We hope you have a really great rest of your week, and we will talk to you next time on
Arguably Speaking. Bye!